Hello and welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. Very different weather depending on where you are in the country over the next 24 hours. Wet in the northwest along with a strong wind and feeling cool. Meanwhile, further southeast, it's drier, it's brighter, and with some places seeing plenty of sunshine across East Anglia in the southeast, it will be warm, temperatures approaching the mid-20s. And actually plenty of sunny spells for East Anglia in the south of England. For Friday afternoon, a keen breeze, but it's a warm breeze nevertheless. Meanwhile, for much of Wales into northern England, cloudier skies, a few drops of rainfall for North Wales, northwest England, but it's wettest across western Scotland and Northern Ireland. Here the rainfall persistent over Western Hills in particular, and for the far northwest of Scotland as well as the Northern Isles, a few gaps in the clouds, so some brighter weather here for a time before it turns wet again at the end of the day. And it's relatively cool in the far north and northwest. Elsewhere, it's a humid airflow, and with the best of any brightness in East Anglia and the southeast, temperatures reaching the mid-20s or even a touch higher. But it's really out towards the northwest where we've got these weather fronts. They're wriggling around, and one bump in the weather fronts, this waving warm front, will push heavier and more prolonged wet weather into Northern Ireland later Friday evening. That rainfall then extending into central and western Scotland as the night goes on. Tricky driving conditions for the Friday rush hour across much of Northern Ireland and Scotland. But it's really overnight, after midnight, in the early hours, that we see the particularly heavy rainfall set in. Now, including Thursday night's rainfall through Friday and up to Saturday lunchtime, 20 to 40 millimetres is expected widely across much of central and western Scotland as well as Northern Ireland. And over the wetter hills of Scotland, well, it's likely that some places will have 80, 100 millimetres plus. Those rainfall amounts, of course, can cause localised flooding, and so a yellow warning in force up to Saturday afternoon. Now, away from that area of rainfall, it stays largely dry and clear in the far north and northwest of Scotland, and further south across much of England and Wales. It's also a dry night with clear spells. But for western areas, that doesn't last because the rain in the northwest drives itself forward, and Saturday morning starts off then a wet picture across much of western England as well as Wales. The winds pick up here as well. Gales around Irish Sea coast driving that rain through. And the wet weather continues across western Scotland, albeit clearing from Northern Ireland into Saturday morning. It does gradually ease away from the west coast of Scotland, but you can see it sticking around there through the Grampians, Moray, into the north and northeast. Meanwhile, the weather front further south tends to peter out as it moves its way eastwards, and it slows down, so not a great deal of rainfall as it moves in. And for East Anglia in the southeast, you can see we hold on to the sunshine for much of the day. And because of that, of course, temperatures will be rising once again into the mid-20s for East Anglia in the southeast. But by lunchtime, by the afternoon, we'll start to see the cloud move in from the west. The cloud and rain elsewhere largely replaced by sunny spells, but also showers. Not many showers in the south, but for much of western Scotland, northwest England, North Wales, Northern Ireland, those showers will be frequent, and they'll be combined with a strong wind touching almost gale force across the exposed hills of western Scotland. And we keep the rainfall there in the northeast, so that's going to make it feel fairly unpleasant. Northern Isles keeps the rain for much longer into Saturday night, but otherwise it's clearing skies widely as the weather fronts push through, further showers piling into northern and northwestern districts. Clear spells elsewhere, temperatures largely falling away further compared to Friday night, so into the single figures in some spots. A bright start, mind you, for much of eastern and southern Britain. Plenty of sunshine despite the fresh feel first thing. Then as the day goes on, showers will develop fairly widely. You can see them across northern and western areas to start with, and then they'll push their way southwards as the day goes on. But for much of southern Britain, actually, the showers will be few and further between, whereas further north, they'll be frequent and there'll be lively hail and thunder a possibility. Feeling cool, of course, with the air replaced by a cooler northwesterly airflow. High teens generally, just about 20 degrees in the southeast. So lots going on over the next couple of days into the weekend. And of course, you can always follow the latest by following the Met Office on social media. Bye-bye.